Hi Virgo, this is going to be your reading for September. First of all, a happy birthday to all of you, okay? I know some of you do celebrate your birthday in August, and also there are some in September, like my son. He is a Virgo and he celebrates his birthday on the 16th of September. So, as I said, a massive happy birthday to all of you Virgos. And because it is your birthday month, you're getting your reading first. Because I want to reduce my readings from 24 to 12 each month, I am doing the love reading and a general reading together. So, the first... I've done the 9-card spread and they're all laid out ready to go. So the cards on the top are going to be your love portion of the reading, your personal relationship section. The cards underneath are going to be more of a general reading, okay? So you can apply those messages to wherever you feel they fit in your life at this current time. I've also pulled a psychic tarot card as an extra message and a little destiny card. So, Virgo, let's start with the love section. The card we got at the centre is the shadow side. Now, this is the card that represents the devil, okay? So, you know, it can touch on negative thinking, okay? But it can also touch on, you know, the more material aspects, you know, all of those worldly ties. So, you know, it can talk about money, it can talk about sex, okay? So it could talk about a relationship that's based purely on sex rather than any emotions. It could touch on how maybe you are more, at this moment in time, you are more focused or more, I don't want to say focused really or interested, but at this moment in time, all you're prepared, I should say, all you're really looking for is the sexual aspect of a relationship. That is something that could be a possibility here for some of you, okay? If we're not crossing those lines with you, then I feel we could be talking for some that there may be some negative thinking that has started to set in here. Now, the card at the top, as we come into the month, is the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups, you know, it is a card of walking away. We got 8 cups, or we gave 8 cups, whichever way you want to look at it. And what I always say with the 8 of Cups, whether we gave the cups, whether we received it, it was 1 cup away from wish fulfillment. So to me, it was never all bad. But we've reached a point where we feel that we're not going to find that extra cup within that relationship. There's something lacking and something missing. As I said, not all bad, but just something missing. Now, sometimes it can be a temporary separation, but in this instance, with these cards, I feel we're talking that it may not be in the month of September. It may be that this has already taken place. And it's coming through in this month to highlight the fact that for some of you, there may have been a parting, okay? The card next to it is the World. And this itself talks about endings. One chapter, one door of our lives closing and a brand new door opening. It's about completing a whole cycle, if you like. You know, the World card is one of my favorite cards in the tarot because, you know, for me, it's almost like a cleansing where, you know, we finally shut the door on something. And it then gives us the opportunity to start over again with a brand new beginning, with a clean slate, if you like. So for some of you, that may be how you are feeling in regards to your relationships. The card next to it is the Magician. So the Magician, you know, he manifests. So what is it that you want to manifest, Virgo? Do you want a brand new relationship in your life? Do you want time out? Time just for the passions and the sexual aspects of a relationship? Do you want to focus more on your career and your finances at this moment in time? For all of you, it will be different. And, you know, please know that really from what I'm seeing with this reading, for those of you that are in a happy, contented relationship, then this aspect of this video is not going to apply to you, okay? I feel we're definitely talking to those of you that are most likely single. The next card you have, which is next to the Devil, we do have the Knight of Pentacles. So he's the slowest knight in the tarot. It's your energy of the Pentacles. And I really do feel that this knight is purely talking about how you're going to take your time. If you do go into a relationship, let me rephrase that. If you're thinking about entering into a new relationship, you're either having negative thoughts about that, or you are going to take your time, okay? And it may very well be that at this moment, like I said, you are going to be more about having fun than getting serious. Now, that's not to say it won't become serious further down the line, but I don't see that at the moment. We do have a court card here. We've got the Queen of Wands. So we've got Aries, Leo, Sag here. Now, for some of you, you may be taking on the energies of this Queen of Wands. Forget the gender there, okay? She is very independent. She's very driven. She is, you know, when she walks into a room, people notice her. She is very passionate. She is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Sexually active, the Queen of Wands, especially when she is with somebody, when she's in a relationship with somebody. But it may very well be that there is a fire sign that may have caught your attention. But as I said, you may not be ready to jump headfirst into a relationship with this fire sign, but it's somebody that's there. There's potential. Moving down, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands can be the most passionate card in the tarot. And it's the beginning, okay? It's when something is starting to flourish. Something has potential, okay? The Ace of Wands, as I said, it's passion, it's excitement. It's that fiery spark that can be lit, okay? So something new here that could, as I said, potentially lead into something more serious. The next card is the Eight of Wands. So this is communication. We communicate now very differently. It's not just verbal. It is text messages, WhatsApp, social media, Facebook, emails, all manner of ways of communicating. Sometimes the Eight of Wands is unexpected communication. Sometimes it's communication from a distance. So, it may be that you are talking to somebody that may be in a different country. Somebody that you've known for a long time who has moved overseas or is travelling. It may just be somebody that lives 10 minutes around the corner from you, but communication nonetheless. The last card is the Four of Wands. Now, this is a card about holding on. And what I think this card is talking about is you, Virgo, holding on to any feelings, playing your cards close to your chest. You're not the sign that makes big declarations of, being in love and that type of thing anyway, okay? I think when it comes to that, you are more reserved. But I think at the moment for you, you are either having negative thoughts due to a possible breakup that's already taken place. And this time round, you are, maybe just not this time round, but this time you are taking your time. But I do feel that Four of Wands is you playing your cards close to your chest. I think there may very well be somebody that's caught your eye, somebody that you may be interested in, but you are not going to rush. Okay, so I'm going to move these cards out now, and we're going to then look at the general part of your reading, okay? And you know what's funny? Because I wanted to see if there was any repeating cards. And I've just taken the Knight of Pentacles up. And underneath it is the Knight of Pentacles. So we do have a repeating card that was actually on top of each other. So, the Knight of Pentacles is a significant message to you this month. And as I said, his energy is slow. He gets to his destination. He always gets what he wants. But he's very methodical. And he takes his time. So, now this is going to, as I said, the more general side of things. Okay, so you applied this message or these messages to how you feel it may fit into your life. So at the centre here, and it is another repeating card, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is, as I said, communication. And sometimes, as I said, it can be unexpected, but it can come in very quick, very sudden as well, okay? It can come from an unexpected source, somebody that maybe we didn't expect to hear from. So the first card we have is the Five of Cups. And this is a card that can very much talk about focusing on something that's lost, okay? And it's impacting us emotionally. Now, there's two cups still standing. One cup is you, one cup is somebody else, which equates to the Two of Cups. So there is a potential within the Five of Cups to find emotional happiness and fulfillment and possibly love with somebody else. But we're choosing to focus on what we've lost. And at this moment in time, we're not prepared to look at the potential of something new. Like I said with your love portion of this reading, you know, I feel that there is an element of negativity around relationships for you. And although this is the general part of the reading, for some of you, I think this also is going to apply to relationships. So the next card we have is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is nostalgia, it's reminiscing, it's looking back at the past. So again, I feel the Six of Cups in this instance is talking about you focusing again on a relationship in the past, a relationship that has ended. And you're looking back at happy times that you had. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with reminiscing. But if we get caught up in that energy for too long, it can prevent us from moving forward. So you need to be mindful of that, Virgo. The card next to it, it is your card, Virgo. We've got the Hermit. So, you know, the Hermit is soul searching, reflecting. He can see his path ahead clearly. That's not the issue. It's not as if he can't see where to put one foot in front of the other, if you like. It's more about he's searching for an answer, maybe, to something. Maybe why the relationship ended. Maybe something different. But he's only going to find those answers within himself. Sometimes as well, though, we have to be careful with the Hermit because it can talk about being a bit of a recluse and how we may be shutting ourselves off a little bit. You know, we may be not socializing as much as we used to, okay? As I said, becoming a bit of a recluse. So be mindful of that as well, Virgo. Now, here we do have the repeating card, the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, as I said, is slow energy. He gets to his destination, but he chooses to take his time. So, you know, for you, maybe again, this is a case of you are moving forward, but it's at a snail's pace. And, you know, if you're in this energy still of the Five of Cups, then, you know, the Knight of Pentacles would make complete sense. It may be for some of you as well that the Knight of Pentacles is something coming through here. Something coming through that you may have been waiting on for some time. The Knight of Pentacles can be to do with our finances. It's very much more to do with the practical aspects of our life. So our finances, our career, our home. So it may, as I said, be for some of you that you've been waiting to hear about something in regards to the more practical aspects of your life. And with the Eight of Wands being next to it, it may be that communication is going to come through. Communication that you've been waiting to hear on. Because next to the Eight of Wands, we have the Nine of Cups. And this is wish fulfillment. So you may have been wishing and hoping to hear something, to hear about something, or to hear from someone. And it may be in September that you hear the news that you was hoping to hear, Virgo. Now, moving down, we have the Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is boredom. It's that blah feeling. If we look at it down this row, Five of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Four of Cups, slow energy with the Knight of Pentacles. You know, that Four of Cups. See, what I feel could be going on here for some of you is if we're going to talk from the financial and career aspects, you may very well hear some good news. Something positive may come through in September. But when it comes to your relationships, there is this negativity there. You know, I think that whatever's being offered to you in September on the emotional, to do with emotions and feelings, is not really stirring you. But we've got the Three of Wands. So with the Three of Wands, we're waiting for our ship to come in, okay? We've come from the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is choosing a path. And then we get to the Three of Wands where, you know, we've chosen which path we're going to go down. And now we're waiting to see results. It may be that at the moment you're not seeing the results you want emotionally, but you may be seeing them financially. Another interesting fact here is that we have another repeating card that I didn't notice when I first looked at the cards, and it was in the same position again, is the Four of Pentacles. Because that was your last card in the love aspect of the reading. So Four of Pentacles, holding on. It may be in September that you need to hold on to your finances. That you've got to watch your pennies a little bit. Don't be so quick to spend in September. Okay? As the saying goes, look after the pounds, look after the pennies, and the pounds will look after themselves. I don't think this Four of Pentacles is emotion related as I felt it was in the relationship reading. I think it's more to do with finances, and it's a cautionary message here to look after your finances in September. If extra money comes through, don't be so quick to spend it. Hold on to it. Right, Virgo, your message from the little destiny cards is journeys. Now, this obviously could talk about how you may be making a journey. The journey may be, you know, at a distance. It may not be. But it's here to suggest a journey. And a journey that may very well be significant. It could be significant to do with a relationship, maybe. It could be, if you remember me saying, and you did have the World card in the relationship reading, that somebody at a distance, and it may be that that is the case, that you may be making a journey to go and see that person, or that person may be making a journey back here to see you. It may be that that person is on a journey. Also, the other aspect with journeys is sometimes it doesn't talk about a journey in terms of a trip. It could refer to the journey that we are on in our life, okay? So that's, from that aspect, it could be significant. Now, your card from the Psychic Tarot is Harmony. And it talks about a relationship between you and another person where there is harmony, or there can be. So again, is there somebody significant? A possible fire sign, but doesn't have to be. You know, September is not going to be a bad month for you, Virgo. I think if you've been waiting to hear positive news in regards to your career or your finances or your home, the more practical aspects of your life, then I think that you're going to hear something positive there. I think emotionally, it is a month when you may be a little bit closed off emotionally. You may be a little bit within yourself, within your thoughts this month in September when it comes to emotions and feelings. But there is a potential for a relationship here, or at least a deep connection with somebody. But it is whether you're going to be prepared to recognize that and then open yourself up to that. Okay, Virgo, that is your reading for September. Thank you so much and take care. Bye.